Trials of Osiris is around the corner after a long hiatus, and no doubt you've already been seeing your inboxes full of content from different creators, talking about the best weapons, breaking down maps, and creating compilations of wish your luck angrily forgetting the basics of the game. Whilst all of these guides are useful, actually playing well with your team is rarely discussed outside of some of the top PvP streamers in the Destiny community. You might have all the technical knowledge in the world about the game, but when it comes down to gunning for that flawless victory, high team chemistry is an unwritten requirement to claim the ultimate prize. And like any number of people with chemistry, communication is the most essential pillar holding it all up. It's the number one separator between the good teams from the great ones, but people often overlook it. That changes today. Hi, my name is Ascendant Nomad, and I'm your Crucible Doctor. This video is number 2 of 6 of a collaboration with BRAVExHERO for making a series of guides for Trials of Osiris. If you're seeing this video on my channel, the link to his channel is below that like button. Be sure to subscribe to his channel for great build advice, excellent tips and tricks, and on occasion something completely different. Communication is a mammoth of a topic to handle because there's no such thing as communication that's good enough. You can always improve communication, though for the sake of brevity and simply not boring the absolute pants off you, I'll be sticking to the confines of Trials of Osiris. If you want a TLDR of the video, more communication is good, less communication is bad, too much communication is horrible, and tailored communication is the best. For most of my students in the past, the advice has always been to err on the side of more communication. There's a very good chance that you're simply just not saying enough. Now, what do I need to be saying exactly, I can hear you think, anxiously clutching your waifu pillow? Well, here's a handy-dandy catch-all list of things that works for all game modes. Number 1. Opponent callouts. This is just general information about the opponents. Callouts include where they are, where they're going, how they're behaving, and what they're doing. For example, I've got Kamicakes on B, he's hard scoping into Plaza, or 3 enemies rushing from B to A. Number 2. Broadcasting yourself. This is information about you that your team might want to know. Status on your own health is probably the biggest one, followed shortly by communicating your actions before you do them. Telling your teammates that you're low in health and you need a second will go a long way to stop them from rushing into a 2v3 and handing the round to the opponents. Number 3. Direct teammate communication. It's not enough to just be an information conduit. You need to be actively engaging your teammates and talking to them. Ask them questions, give them instructions, and strategize on the fly in response to different opponent tactics. They don't have to be complicated, they just have to be cohesive. Even with just 3 main categories of communication, you can see how it might be a lot to take in. Maybe overwhelmingly so, especially if you're socially anxious. But let's break this down specifically for Trials of Osiris. Category 1. Opponent callouts. Trials is a game of kill before they kill you, so positioning yourself correctly to engage, disengage, and evade is crucial. A big part of this is calling out where the enemy is and relaying this information to your team. Calling them out correctly in relation to the map is even more essential. If you're not sure of the exact callouts, have a look in the description below where you'll find excellent callout maps by Crucible cartographer Relict. Share them with your team and go over them before every weekend. Calling out positioning is more important than calling out anything else. The rounds are fast and furious, and being in the best spot to get that initial pick is everything. Revive orbs are also crucial to call out. Shutting down revives and maintaining numerical advantage or parity is essential to winning. Shut down those revives by calling out their position to your teammates, or have someone ready to res snipe them if everyone else is preoccupied. As ever, be sure to be calling out specifics regarding your opponents such as their health, their weapons, their supers, and the explicit behaviors like camping, rushing, or rotating. Category number 2. Broadcasting yourself. Rotation, assistance, and outcomes of firefights, be it kills or deaths. These are the only 3 you need to focus on. Call out your own rotations so that your team know where you are and where you're going. This helps them keep a mental map of their options when they engage. For example, they will not go down a lane and engage multiple targets if they know their teammates don't have a line of sight to assist them. Speaking of which, call out that you're in a position to assist or not. That aids massively with movement, rotation, and starting engagements. Multiple times I'll get myself into a losing battle because I didn't know if my teammates were nearby or not. Perhaps that's more of an indictment of my own overconfidence, but if I had that information, I'd be a lot more measured in my approach. Calling out the outcomes of your battles is also huge. If you kill them, you should let your teammates know where they died and whether or not there's anything stopping you from closing the orb down like other targets. If you died, call out their health, their movements, and whether or not they have backup. This allows your remaining teammates to make a decision on whether or not to try and play your orb for the revive. Category 3. Direct teammate communication. This is more intangible, but just talk to your teammates more throughout the session. In the context of trials, you want to be strategizing constantly, switching up your approaches if things aren't working, or even if they are, just to maintain an air of unpredictability. Be sure to talk about problem players, like if one of your opponents is hard carrying the others. Specifically targeting that person could be an excellent way to secure a team wipe. Give ideas to your teammates and let them give you ideas as well. Solve problems together and always move forward. The other two categories of communication lend itself well to the just talk constantly bit of advice. It goes a long way to establishing trust. Okay, now that you have a sense of what you need to be saying, I want to cover something that, in my humble opinion, not enough people seem to understand. See, people have a tendency to think that if they say the right things at the right time, they'll achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. This is only partially correct. Having the right answers for your audience is a valuable asset. But what's more important is how you say it. How you order food at a restaurant could be the difference between good service and bad service. How you introduce yourself to others directly influences that first impression. How you deliver feedback to your musician friend about their crappy song can be the difference between them improving or quitting. With your trials teammates, how you convey information and talk to your teammates can greatly affect responsiveness, morale, and overall chemistry. As an example, calling out enemy actions with a sense of urgency will help your team to understand the gravity of their actions. For example, two of them pushing up A stairs, versus, they're pushing up A stairs, two of them. You can tell the difference. The first one I'd employ as a rotational call out. The second for my teammate who's about to be flanked. That said, false flagging your teammates with urgency vis-a-vis a situation that isn't urgent can lead to annoyance and distrust, which is why it's very important to be tone appropriate and not just yell everything with the utmost urgency. Another thing that complements the how you say it line of advice is the sheer quality of information you're giving. It's incredibly annoying to give a vague call out like on me, or over there, or even simply he's one shot. All of these statements are terrible on their own and they need to be expanded upon further. On me turns into on me by A stairs. Over there becomes over there by B side of church. And he's one shot turns into he's lagging, bro. Well, no, but you get the point. That all being said, being too wordy or verbose, as well as taking a long time to make callouts is equally frustrating. Nobody needs to hear about the luster of the armor in the light that shines upon the spot in which he resides before retreating gallantly back towards his comrades. Just say, he's lagging, bro, and be done with it. Say it quickly, say it concisely, don't say too much. Don't be vague. Keep talking.
Down center.
Alright guys, one shot.
Only one enemy remains.
What? Oh, didn't
Don't
fire.
let them catch
No, my body. One shot.
Down.
I mean, he's half shot.
Oh, he's abso.
Can you
There you go.
taste that?
Okay, center. There you go. We should be able to flank.
I'm going on bridge.
They're behind you.
Come on, get off my dick.
You're shooting in front of you.
What's
Got
up?
him. Pulling back. Second
Lower.
guy coming up. He's gonna jump up there.
There's sniper down
Your
by
ally
doors.
is the only one left.
He's still sniping, he's sniping that
Trust them
entrance.
to get this done. One opponent left. They don't stand a chance.
He's coming up now.
All enemies
Nicely done, nice played.
Be careful of the sniper who's there.
Watching Cubby. I got nothing, they're outside.
Watch the mid tunnel there. Mid tunnel.
Yep, watching.
Smoke them.
Two there. One
He's
coming,
one
one
hit.
flanking. I need help.
I'm coming.
He's low. Nice.
I got him.
Safe res.
I'm gonna go for the res.
Oh, push back.
Let them focus.
They're aggroing now. Nice res. Shit.
I'm very weak.
Good spike.
This is risky. Fuck.
You're the last one standing.
I shouldn't have done that.
Show
Yeah.
them what
1v1,
one
1v1.
guardian
I was hoping they would sit back
Oh.
Oh, my fault on that, man. I played in there way too long.
No worries.
Baggy?
You lost
I
this
think he bagged
round,
his teammate.
but
Yeah,
victory
bagging his
is
teammate,
still
yeah.
in
One down.
Dead.
Nice, 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 nice. Copy.
Is it center flag? Center?
Only
Yeah.
one enemy
Got him.
remains.
Oh god.
Don't let them catch their
Thank
prey.
you.
Oh,
Can
you
you
shotgun
taste
him.
that?
Yep.
I'm gonna have to block you.
The final point I want to make is arguably the most important thing you should adopt into your expanding communication repertoire. Always, always finish the session by saying good games. A little bit of courtesy, positivity, and decency goes a long way to turning a play session into a long-lasting bond of friendship, camaraderie, and long nights of gaming. You'll win some, you'll lose some, but finding the right people to consistently run with and develop your relationships starts with being positive and having the will to try again. That's it from me. It's a little bit shorter video, a little bit more concise, but I hope these tips helped you all the same. It is a behemoth of a topic, and I do want to make a much longer, more in-depth video about communication, but this should be enough to get the ball rolling, especially for Trials of Osiris. As stated before, this is video number 2 of 6 of our collaboration. Tomorrow's video will be made by BRAVExHERO. If you like this video though, you know what to do. I'm Ascendant Nomad, and I'm your Crucible Doctor. See you in the next one. Cheers.